I am Atticus, a man who has navigated the intricate dance of life's peaks and valleys. To those who look from the outside, I am merely a devoted husband, a father nurturing a seemingly perfect family, and a man whose career paints a picture of fulfillment. Yet, hidden beneath this serene facade is a secret, a fragment of my history that I have endeavored to conceal. Yet it lingers in my mind, an alluring specter that refuses to dissipate. For years, I held on to the notion that time would mend all scars, and that the weight of adult responsibilities would cloak the ache within. Yet the reality is that memories linger, refusing to fade into oblivion. They are akin to a clandestine river, quietly bubbling beneath the surface, poised for the perfect moment to surge forth and carry everything into its depths. Ensure you subscribe to my channel, allowing me to weave more captivating true tales that will draw you in and leave you yearning for more. Be sure to immerse yourself in this video until the very last moment, and show your appreciation with a like, for the tale that unfolds is bound to captivate your senses in the most intriguing way. Your support means the world. A simple tap on that like button can ignite a spark of connection between us. What I am about to unveil is not a narrative of glory, it is a confession of a misstep that has haunted me with years of longing and anguish. This is a story of an emotional struggle, a moment that reshaped my life, and a lesson I carry with me to this day. Though I might attempt to resist, it has woven itself into the very fabric of my being. Today I share my truth, not in search of absolution, but to face it head on and liberate myself from the weight that has haunted my spirit for far too long. This tale unfolds when I was 18, on an evening steeped in destiny. As I sat in my room, I found myself distracted by the sounds of conversation from my father's room, my mind drifting elsewhere. The door stood firmly shut, yet the whispers beyond slipped through the cracks, teasing my resolve and igniting a forbidden curiosity within me. As the night deepened, the whispers of the world around me became more distinct, igniting a desire within me to uncover the source of the intrigue unfolding in the shadows. Curiosity got the better of me, and I walked down the hallway, trying to make sense of my emotions. As I lingered before my father's door, a thrilling rush coursed through me, igniting a mix of anticipation and longing. With a heart racing and a thrill coursing through my veins, I summoned every ounce of bravery, gently twisted the doorknob, and cracked it open just wide enough to steal a glimpse within. The sight before me held me captive, as my father and Victoria stood there entwined in a moment that felt both intimate and forbidden. Words failed to capture the essence of it. Every detail lingered in my thoughts, etched with an intensity that both thrilled and haunted me. In that moment, an unexpected sensation awakened within me, a blend of shyness and intrigue that was both thrilling and forbidden. Time slipped away as I lingered in that moment, and when I finally retreated to my room, an overwhelming sense of exhaustion enveloped me. I reclined on my bed, gazing at the ceiling, the captivating image of Victoria dancing in my thoughts. I lay restless, my thoughts swirling in the quiet of the night, sleep eluding me like a forbidden desire. Then, daring and audacious thoughts began to swirl in my mind. In the quiet corners of my heart, I longed to draw near to Victoria, the enchanting woman I had only ever dared to admire from afar. Victoria, my father's wife, was a presence in my home that changed everything for me. In the wake of my mother's departure, taking my little sister with her, it was just 3 months before Dad introduced Victoria into our world. Whispers filled the air as the neighbors speculated, their eyes narrowing with intrigue, convinced that Victoria had entwined her fate with Dad's for the allure of his fortune. The whispers around me held no weight in my heart. From the moment Victoria entered our home, I felt an emotional shift that I struggled to understand. Never did I foresee myself ensnared in this intoxicating whirlwind of feelings. I attempted to immerse myself in my studies, yet each time I did, the alluring image of Victoria danced through my thoughts, captivating my attention in ways I couldn't resist. I recalled her exquisite beauty, the delicate pink dress that adorned her that morning, and the tender way she brushed the sweat from my brow. Whenever her gentle gaze and delicate smile crossed my mind, a thrill coursed through my veins. I let out a soft sigh, closed my books, and surrendered to the embrace of the bed, overwhelmed by the intricate web of my emotions. Seeking an escape from the weight of my thoughts, I reached for my phone and immersed myself in a game. Yet the gentle whispers from my father's room soon returned, challenging my resolve. I drew the blanket tightly around me, attempting to muffle the whispers of my mind, yet it proved futile. My intrigue consumed me, compelling me to rise and venture forth. Yet a part of me struggled to restrain itself. At last, the weight of my longing became unbearable. With a quiet breath, I slipped from my room and ventured into the dimly lit hallway. Every step toward Dad's and Victoria's room was fraught with tension, a silent struggle against the allure of the forbidden. As I approached the door, a thrill coursed through me, my hands trembling ever so slightly as I turned the knob with deliberate slowness. As the door creaked open, a sliver of light revealed Victoria, her silhouette bathed in shadows, evoking a sense of longing and intrigue. Her presence was striking, and I found myself grappling with conflicting emotions. My heart raced with an intoxicating thrill. My breath quickened, a thrilling rush coursing through me. As my fingers brushed against the doorknob, a soft sound escaped, echoing the tension in the air. Victoria glanced in my direction, and for a moment I felt the weight of an unspoken conversation. She remained silent, lost in her actions, as if every movement was a secret dance meant solely for my eyes. Paralyzed by the moment, I found myself unable to stir. Yet I found myself unable to look away. As I slipped away, I moved quietly through the shadows, a sense of guilt wrapping around me like a silken shroud, as if I were a trespasser in the very heart of my own sanctuary. As I reclined on my bed, my mind wandered through the tangled web of emotions stirred by what I had witnessed. What emotion stirred within me? Could it have been ecstasy, apprehension, or perhaps something more forbidden? My thoughts swirled in a tantalizing dance until at last I surrendered to the embrace of slumber. The following morning, golden rays of sunlight filtered through the curtains, gently rousing me from my slumber. With a heavy heart, I slipped from the warmth of the sheets, the lingering memories of the previous night dancing tantalizingly in my mind. As I descended the stairs, there she was, Victoria, radiant as ever, her eyes dancing with a playful glint as they locked onto mine. "What troubles your heart? Are you still lingering in the realm of dreams?" she inquired, her voice laced with an alluring curiosity. I swiftly averted my eyes from hers. Indeed, I find myself drifting into a gentle haze of drowsiness. Spend the night lost in the depths of my studies, the hours slipping away like whispered secrets in the dark. I deceived you. Her smile lingered, a delicate invitation, yet she chose to let the topic drift into silence. It was as if she sensed the thoughts swirling in my mind, far beyond the confines of mere homework. I swiftly conjured a reason to divert attention. "Has father departed?" I inquired. "Indeed, he slipped away at the break of dawn," she responded softly. I ascended the stairs, a sense of anticipation coursing through me as I retrieved my bag, ready to embark on another day at school. I hurried to my room, longing to evade the intensity of Victoria's stare. It felt as though I was evading not only her presence, but also the depths of my own being. Each encounter with her sent my heart racing, leaving me breathless and yearning for more. That morning, I endeavored to cast aside the lingering thoughts that danced in my mind, striving to immerse myself in my studies. Victoria was home alone, Yet, as I stepped through the door that afternoon, an intoxicating sense of her essence enveloped the air around me. The moment I stepped inside, her voice enveloped me like a warm embrace. "Please, go change and join me for dinner," she whispered, a hint of mischief in her voice. I complied, transformed, and descended the stairs. Victoria sat gracefully at the table, adorned in a delicate new outfit that accentuated her allure, drawing the eye with an irresistible charm. As I settled into my seat, her voice reached my ears, a soft murmur meant for no one but herself, yet it lingered in the air, tantalizingly close. The heat of the day wrapped around us like a sultry embrace, igniting a spark of desire in the air. My aunt engaged in only a handful of tasks, yet she was utterly drenched in perspiration. As I lifted my gaze, our eyes locked, and in that fleeting instant, the world around us faded away. I averted my gaze, attempting to immerse myself in my meal, yet her allure was impossible to dismiss. Her form fitting dress accentuated her delicate waist, and I found myself captivated by the allure of her porcelain skin. I hurried through my meal, feigning fatigue as I whispered that a nap was calling my name, yet deep down I feared that my eyes would betray me in her presence. I lay in bed, restless, as thoughts of Victoria danced in my mind, refusing to fade into the shadows of slumber. As the clock struck 3, I stepped out of my sanctuary and descended the stairs, my gaze falling upon Victoria, her form gracefully moving on the treadmill, a vision of strength and allure. The view was utterly enchanting. Her athletic wear embraced her form, highlighting the alluring contours of her body. She carried herself with a confidence that was impossible to ignore. I remained motionless, captivated by her presence from afar, my heart pounding with an intoxicating mix of desire and longing. Then Victoria turned around, her smile a tantalizing invitation that lingered in the air. "What is it that captures your gaze, Cassius?" she inquired, her voice laced with an alluring curiosity. I found myself captivated by the delicate beauty of the bonsai tree in the garden, its intricate branches whispering secrets of nature's artistry. I stumbled over my words. Her smile was gentle, yet her eyes held a knowing glimmer, revealing that she saw through my deception. "Very well, dear auntie, continue with your graceful movements. I plan to immerse myself in a book beneath the open sky, letting the gentle breeze carry me away into a world of tranquility." I hurriedly exited the room, seeking refuge in the garden, desperate to evade the intensity of Victoria's gaze. I found myself perched on the cold stone bench, yet my thoughts drifted far from the pages of the book that lay before me. I found myself stealing glances through the glass door, captivated by Victoria as she continued her graceful movements, lost in her own world of exertion. There was no way out of this intoxicating web. I felt myself descending further into the depths of desire, yet I found myself powerless to resist the pull. That evening, dinner unfolded in its familiar rhythm, yet there was an air of anticipation as Victoria unveiled a bottle of wine. A forbidden indulgence my father had always kept from me. She poured 2 glasses, a knowing smile gracing her lips as she handed one to him. "This is yours," she whispered, the air thick with unspoken desires. "With your father away for the evening, let the atmosphere shift to one of ease and intimacy. You have reached a stage of life where the boundaries of innocence have faded and the allure of deeper connections beckons. You are worthy of indulging in your desires." My heart raced, caught in a web of uncertainty. Yet, I confessed, I've never tasted the allure of intoxication. Victoria gazed at me with a knowing smile, her eyes inviting and filled with unspoken promises. "Everything will be just fine. A small indulgence can be quite enticing. I shall guard this secret closely." With a daring spirit, I lifted my glass to meet hers, a silent promise lingering in the air between us. Once more, Her dress captivated my gaze, sending a thrill through my heart. I savored the sip, the intoxicating blend of sweetness and spice, igniting a thrill within me. Slowly, I found myself indulging more, unaware of the depths I was sinking into. After dinner, a wave of dizziness washed over me, leaving me feeling unsteady and vulnerable. I ascended the stairs, feeling her presence linger just behind me, a tantalizing shadow that stirred something forbidden within. As I entered my room, a wave of exhaustion washed over me, and I sank onto the bed, surrendering to the soft embrace of the sheets. Victoria stepped inside, gently shutting the door with a soft click behind her. She nestled beside me, her fingers gently brushing against my forehead, a tender gesture that lingered in the air between us. "Are you feeling quite intoxicated?" she inquired, her voice a gentle whisper laced with an alluring intimacy. As she drew nearer, the haze of intoxication blurred my senses, and I found myself captivated by her gaze. Her beauty radiated with an allure that was impossible to ignore. I stumbled over my words. "Dear aunt, your beauty is truly captivating." Victoria smiled, but it only deepened my confusion. Then she leaned closer and whispered, "Do you see me differently now?" Whether it was a subtle nod or the unspoken language of my gaze, she chose not to linger for a response. She drew me in, enveloping me in a warm embrace that felt both intimate and forbidden. Uncertainty enveloped me, yet the experience was intoxicating, as if I had slipped into a forbidden reverie, delightful yet haunting in equal measure. As the last echoes of our encounter faded, I reclined on the bed, enveloped in a haze of blissful confusion. The alcohol faded from my senses, yet the shock lingered, an intoxicating reminder of the moment's forbidden allure. I gazed at Victoria, my voice quivering with unspoken desires. "I hope we can move forward and leave the past behind." Her gaze met mine, serene yet charged with an unspoken intensity. "Rest assured, your secret is safe with me." Your performance tonight was truly captivating. I found myself enchanted by it. Her words pierced through the layers of my heart, leaving a lingering ache that was both exquisite and forbidden. The night enveloped me in a restless haze, my mind swirling with thoughts that kept sleep at bay. I had crossed a line with my father. In the days that followed, I found myself yearning to distance myself from Victoria, though the pull of her presence was undeniable. I crafted reasons to slip away from home, venturing to school before dawn or lingering in the shadows until nightfall embraced me. Yet each time I returned home, the intensity of Victoria's gaze intertwined with mine, a silent acknowledgement of the forbidden bond we held. Her kindness enveloped me, her voice a soothing melody, yet it felt like a delicate chain tightening around my heart. As darkness envelops the room, and I find myself nestled beneath the sheets, a heavy sense of guilt washes over me. Every glance at my father stirred a conflict within me, as if I were betraying something sacred. Yet, the harder I endeavored to erase her from my thoughts, the more Victoria entwined herself within the depths of my consciousness. I loathed the depths of my own heart for it. Yet, she had woven herself into the very fabric of my being. As the moment slipped away, a quiet tension lingered in the air. I dedicated myself to my studies, and in time I ventured away from the familiar comforts of home to embrace the allure of college life. It was as if I had slipped away from the haunting shadows of my past. As I prepared to depart, my father and Victoria stood by, their gazes heavy with unspoken emotions. Father enveloped me in a warm embrace, while Victoria offered a knowing smile, her gaze conveying unspoken sentiments that lingered in the air between us. As the train glided into the distance, I cast a lingering glance back, catching a glimpse of Victoria, her gaze fixed on me, unwavering, until I vanished from her view. a burden gently released, leaving a sense of lightness in its wake. I had found a moment of reprieve, a fleeting escape from the confines of my reality. In college, I embarked on a new journey. I forged connections, immersed myself in various clubs, and found myself entwined in a delicate romance with a captivating girl from my class. Yet, despite my efforts, the shadows of the past lingered, entwining themselves around my heart in a way that was both haunting and intoxicating. Each time I encountered a figure reminiscent of Victoria or caught a whisper that echoed her voice, a deep longing stirred within me. I found myself unable to confide in anyone, not even the one I held closest to my heart. It was a mark that would linger with me eternally. Years later, I found myself walking across the stage in cap and gown, stepping into a world of stability with a promising career and embracing the thrill of engagement. I believed I had left the past behind, yet a call from my father stirred something deep within me. Victoria left our lives unexpectedly, leaving only unanswered questions and reflections on the past. Her departure sealed our secret in shadows, yet it also carved an emptiness within me, as if a piece of my very soul had slipped away alongside her. Her whereabouts remained a tantalizing mystery, shrouded in whispers and longing. Father appeared lost in sorrow, oblivious to the hidden reality that lingered just beneath the surface. As the years unfolded, I found myself entwined in the bonds of marriage, embracing the joys and complexities of a family that was now my own. I endeavored to fulfill my roles as a devoted husband and father, yet at times the lingering essence of Victoria would envelop my thoughts, stirring a tempest of emotions within me. I found myself lost in thoughts of her absence, pondering whether she had discovered joy in her new life and if, in quiet moments, I ever crossed her mind. One fateful day, as I was tidying up the house, I stumbled upon a letter from Victoria, its presence stirring a mix of nostalgia and longing within me. In the letter, she penned, "Cassius, I understand that what we shared was forbidden, yet I have never once regretted the depth of my love for you. I departed not out of disdain, but from a deep desire for you to embrace a joyful existence, unburdened by the shadows of what once was. Embrace life fully, and if my memory ever crosses your mind, remember that your joy was always my deepest desire." As I absorbed those words, a wave of emotion surged within me, and I found myself unable to contain the tears that flowed freely. Victoria departed to liberate me, yet in her absence lingered a haunting ache that would forever remain etched in my memory. She left without a word, and though I no longer saw her, the lessons from that time remained with me. That was the moment my tale with Victoria reached its bittersweet conclusion. In the absence of forgiveness and the weight of unyielding constraints, one finds only the bittersweet echoes of love's lessons, the scars of missteps, and the unspoken lines that linger in the shadows, tempting yet forbidden. Victoria has departed, yet the essence of her being lingers, entwined within the deepest corners of my heart and thoughts. Reflecting on the past, I see that life is full of challenges and lessons, and sometimes we must confront difficult truths to move forward. Yet, it is through those missteps that we uncover the most profound truths. Realizing that not every passion is worth chasing, and some connections, though intoxicating, inevitably leave their mark. The most profound revelation I encountered is that decisions taken in fleeting moments of vulnerability can carve the contours of an entire existence. No matter how complex our emotions may be, we must always respect boundaries and make the right choices. I exchanged my tranquility and my bond with my father for a brief, intoxicating encounter that lingered in the shadows of desire. The weight of my guilt extended beyond my own heart, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake, touching the lives of those I held dear. This weight is mine to bear eternally, and I wish for no one else to tread the same path of missteps. My counsel is straightforward. Hold dear and safeguard the profound connections that weave through the tapestry of your existence. Guard against the allure of momentary desires that could unravel the bond you cherish. Life unfolds with its myriad challenges and confusions, yet it is in the embrace of restraint and clarity that we find the true path to transcendence. Should you ever find yourself entangled in such a predicament, it would be wise to seek an escape before the moment slips away, leaving you ensnared in its allure. As you delve further into the shadows, the stakes rise, entwining desire with the thrill of the forbidden. When vulnerability washes over you, seek out a confidant, someone whose presence invites you to bare your soul and share the depths of your emotions. Guard your heart against the allure of forbidden feelings. Every choice we make carries weight, and sometimes the opportunity to amend our missteps slips through our fingers. Treasure the moments you hold dear, establish boundaries that protect your heart, and never forget that genuine joy arises from tranquility, not from entanglements steeped in sorrow and longing.